welcome to this episode of The Good, the Bad and the Odd with your host, Michael Sam. Hi, Sam.
Hello there.
So this is a Daisy Daisy. The last Daisy Daisy we did was Warlock. My choice, Warlock, with Richard E. Grant, Julian Sands, who passed away, unfortunately, in the since we recorded and put out that one, and Laurie Singer. And it was your choice. And you picked a film of Julian Sands, didn't you?
Yeah. Probably could have picked a better one where he doesn't get killed during it, but
never mind.
Yeah, unfortunately. I gotta be honest. When I was going into this, I was expecting his characters to survive to the end.
Yeah,
it just seemed like the sort of comfortable, knowledgeable character.
That
would live through this sort of thing.
Yeah, and I thought I'd seen this film, but I'd seen 10 minutes of it, maybe. I didn't remember any of it. So I thought I'd seen it, but I hadn't. There was another film he did that I thought was really interesting that you could have picked called Gothic, which was Ken Russell. And it's about that night in off the Lake Geneva, where Byron Shelley, Mary Shelley, and Dr. Polidori and so, all had that fevered night where they told stories to each other. Yeah. Mary Shelley dreamt Frankenstein. It's that one, right?
Yeah.
But it's by Ken Russell, so it's bonkers. And if I remember rightly, Julian Sands is Percy Shelley as well.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of it. Would have been an interesting one too. But this is fine. This one directed by Frank Marshall, which is interesting because it's his first directing job. But he is a long-term producer, and he was involved with Indiana Jones and stuff.
Involved in a lot of stuff, like Poltergeist. It's got the Bourne films.
Yeah. And you know what? When I was watching this, I was thinking this kind of reminds me of Congo, and he directed Congo. So, yeah. So
he's also been executive producer, isn't as significant, but he's still been doing a lot.
Yeah. So this was his first directing job. What did you think of the film overall?
I quite enjoyed it. I was surprised how much I did enjoy it because it just instead of being I was expecting a sort of spider-based horror movie. But this was more like Gremlins, but with spiders.
Yeah. This, I didn't like this so much. I find it a bit dull because there just wasn't enough laughs or enough scares. It was, like you say, it was very Gremlins. It reminded me of Goonies and Amblin kind of films, right? Yeah. Starting from E.T. onwards kind of thing. It had that kind of vibe.
Sort of an Amblin film.
So again?
It was sort of an Amblin film.
Yeah. Because Spielberg was involved a bit, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But it opens in the jungle in Venezuela.
Yeah. They've got a big plateau in Venezuela that they're exploring. It's Julian Sands playing Dr. James Atherton.
Yeah.
As well as a bunch of other sort of hangers-on.
Basically, he says that there's species here no one's ever seen, and the guy says, will we see dinosaurs? Because that's how these sort of films tend to start.
That's Lost World. So
but there are spiders.
There's a lot of spiders, and they have kind of a goofy way of catching them. They basically set up these, funnels with glass jars underneath, and then just spray poison gas upwards, which is an insane idea.
Yeah, definitely is an insane idea. Now, also, we got a photographer that's coming along called Jerry Manley. Yeah. They're almost punning on his name, but not quite, because he's kind of a bit, not meek, but he's a bit a fish out of water.
He's a hypochondriac. He's already got a fever, and he's constantly going I'm not feeling too great. And then eventually, when a spider does bite him, they're just like, okay, so it was one of the many things he thought he had.
Yeah.
The spider ends up hiding in his the casket they send his body back in.
That's right. Also, he gets bit. We see the spider bite him, don't we? It's quite graphic.
Yeah.
We see the spider bite him, but he's also there's some moments that did make me laugh. Like at one point, he's going on about all this moaning, and one of the natives says something to the other one. He goes, "What does he say?" He goes, you better be careful what you're doing. You're too heavy for us to carry you back down.
That's they end up having to carry him back down. No, wait, they don't. He dies in bed.
He dies in bed.
Yeah.
And they put him in a makeshift coffin.
Yeah, they
Which is
basically
a bit
just put him in a
weird,
box. It's
'cause
not. It's ventilated, so they can. He rots basically.
Yeah, and they stick big sticks through it. It's almost like a magic act. They stick big sticks through it where the body looks like it should be and carry it around, which is a bit weird. And they ship him back to his hometown, which is Canaima, California.
Yeah.
When it arrives back, the old pathologist opens it up and he immediately looks and he says, we talked about, phones up someone and said, we talked about an open casket. Maybe we need to reconsider that. And
I don't know what they do down there in Venezuela, but it ain't really preserved the body.
Yeah.
They start talking about like pictures to use, and it's like, oh yeah, use that one that was in the newspaper. Yeah, that was a real nice one. As it does a slow zoom on this like rotten corpse lying in a box.
We also see the spider briefly. His legs.
The spider gets out and it scares the dog and cat away. But gets picked up by a crow, which it bites and then immediately dies.
What made me laugh was the pathologist had a sandwich on the table and the cat ran up and stole a slice of bread from it. Yeah. Not the meat, but the slice of bread, which made me laugh. I don't know why a cat would do that. So the crow falls outside of this house where a young family.
We're introduced to our main characters. Jeff Daniels is Ross Jennings.
Yeah, and his wife and kids. They've moved from San Francisco, a fairly urban place, to this rural place, on the understanding that the old doctor is about to retire, so he can take over the practice.
Yeah. And the doctor, then it immediately cuts from like them unpacking. It's like, okay, this is going to be good. Cut to the old doctor. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to retire now. Yeah,
because he says he'll just go to seed if he retires. He says, and it's like, but we've sold our house and moved out here on the understanding you were retiring. And he's like, and then he starts getting stroppy. And for the rest of the film, he's kind of stroppy with the new guy, right?
Yeah.
Now, I was a little confused. On Wiki it explained it, but I was confused because I was thinking that spider's changed size massively compared to what it was. But what it is apparently this spider. I must have missed something, but this big spider mates with a house spider to create this very poisonous middle-sized spider.
Yeah, they basically cause a bunch of. They describe it in the film as drones. Like a hive, which is absolutely not how spiders work. But
no, they don't. They don't. But there is such a thing as parallel evolution, where certain similar things do kind of happen. Like termites, for example, not ants at all, but their system is very much like ants, where everyone's got the same DNA and all of that. And it's possible, and I bought that. I bought that spiders could evolve in some remote place to have a similar system, but it didn't make sense because it kind of inferred that the big boss was controlling the drones, which is not how it works. Right?
It's like kind of comical because like it starts to become towards the end of the film, it becomes kind of a sea of spiders moving around the house. That's ridiculous. But very, very cinematic, I gotta be honest. Apparently the crew had a lot of fun shepherding spiders around.
I'll bet they did.
Because the spiders, the ones that they used were non-toxic, of course. But they were big and they could be steered. They were like scared of bright lights and a certain type of paint that's invisible to the human eye.
Okay.
So they just painted pathways on the floor and then used lights to sort of scare them down the pathways.
Kind of worked. It worked. Yeah. I mean, I have to say, I quite like the spider effects. I mean, most of them were realistic, and they obviously did very short shots of spiders doing things, just enough to know, the spider's doing this. But that's how you do it with real animals, isn't it? You can't control them. Certainly not a spider.
So it wasn't paint; it was lemon pledge furniture wax.
Okay, they didn't like.
And there was a light; it was hot air blowing. So they just pledge the floor and then get a hot hair dryer,
and then moved away from the dry hot air. We see an older woman in the town who doesn't like the old doctor and decides to become the first patient of the new doctor. He gives her a physical. He says these pills they're not really suitable for what's wrong with you, and in fact, you don't need any pills. You're not on you're in a spectrum where you don't actually need treatment. We just need to monitor it. So she's taking the pills and then immediately dies. Now, we know she dies of a spider bite.
Yeah.
But immediately the old doctor says, "Did you take her off the pills?" And it's like, yeah. And he goes, "Oh my God," and all this. You don't understand country ways was all the stuff about it. So, yeah. But then...
At the funeral... one of the other, like, the town, the nearby school's like coach is like, "Hey, I'll send some business your way if you come do like a checkup for all my team. Like, we'll go with that."
Yeah. And it's checking their testicles for ruptures, right?
Yeah, another spider gets one of them, so he gets blamed for it again.
But again, and his kids say they're calling you. Apparently, they call you Dr. Death.
Yeah.
And you want to cut up dead body because he wants to have post-mortem.
He wants to autopsy them.
And basically, they're saying that you're Dr. Death and you want to cut up the dead bodies. And he's like, "Well, no, it's not quite like that." All this kind of thing. But then he starts getting paranoid himself a bit.
Yeah.
And then the old doctor, we see him on the old treadmill.
Yeah. He's doing his sort of exercises, being like, "Oh, well, I'm going to hang around." His wife's like, "No, you're not. You're going to retire now." And he's like, "Yeah, maybe." Then he goes to the loo, and his wife is like, "Yeah, the floor's cold. You remember that?" And he goes, "Ah, yeah." Goes to put on his slipper.
And there's a spider. We saw a spider go in the slipper, so it's bites it, and he immediately dies again.
Yeah.
And the first reaction of the doctor's wife is, "Thank God you didn't check up on it. Give him a checkup this morning." So now he becomes the town doctor.
Yeah. So it's like this weird, like, brief period where it's like all sort of happy as they're moving into the new place. But then, like, what was it? Like, basically someone else has a look at it, and or he sends something off, and it finally comes back to him, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't know what this toxin is.
Yeah,
we think it's a spider venom."
Yeah, in the meantime, the wife's a photographer, and she goes up into the roof and photographs all these massive webs. Yeah. Sorry, not in the meantime. That was nearer the beginning of the film, right? Yeah. And they haven't put two and two together yet.
Yeah.
In addition, she thinks she's got termites, so she calls in an exterminator who's John Goodman.
Yeah, that was a weird surprise.
I liked
the
way he played this.
The weird sort of hick confidence.
Yeah.
Just like nothing, absolutely nothing, like, fazed him.
No.
And, like, it's just like, "Oh, yeah, I've got a sample. It's on the bottom of my shoe. But here we go. You can kind of see what's going on." And all the other doctors and scientists in the room are like, "Oh."
Yeah. They he reminded me a lot of the way Bill Murray plays the groundkeeper in Caddyshack.
Yeah,
that's that weird
probably
speaking,
the closest.
Out the side of his mouth, kind of speaking, mumbling, and all this. It kind of made me laugh. I thought it was quite good, John Goodman, in this. There was also, they contacted Julian Sands' character.
Yeah, they called in Julian Sands' character, who's got this weird sort of, like, haughty, like, "Oh, so many people get bitten by spiders, and there's such a scare every time." He's like, "Yeah, it's this weird toxin we've never seen before from a guy that you took up photographing this Venezuelan place," and he's immediately over there.
Yeah. Well, he sends an underling first, which I thought was a bit weird. That guy really didn't need to be in the film. I feel like he was a substitute for the doctor because maybe Julian Sands couldn't do enough. But then he turned up anyway, so I didn't understand what that character was there for, to be honest. It felt like he was kind of a substitute for...
I thought he was going to be, like, killed off, and then Julian Sands' character was killed off.
Yeah, so maybe Julian Sands just didn't have as much time to shoot or something, and they kind of built that into the script. I don't really know.
I know you're not, like, never supposed to put, like, extraneous characters in it, but I feel like it was for that bait and switch. You think Julian Sands is going to survive, and then boom. No.
Oh, okay.
But, which is a good sort of, like, anyone can die sort of setup.
So
get a big name actor and kill them off.
They start exhuming bodies. The sheriff who has been a bit of a dick.
The sheriff's a major dick. No one gives him any respect. It's great.
Yeah, and but he goes along with, we have to exhume this and examine it and all this, that, and the other. And then, like I say, we get the exterminator. Delbert is his name, isn't it? Delbert.
I love Delbert.
And he's kind of spraying them with stuff, and then when that doesn't work, he's stamping on them and all this kind of. And he's sort of acting like the wife's taking it for it and said, "I think they're this." He goes, "My husband thinks this." And he goes, "Oh, is he an expert then? Is he?" And so that kind of stuff, and all that. So they realise that there's this crossbreeding, and it might be a species.
It may be that they've made a basically given something hybrid vigor. Like
deadly spiders that breed really fast, right?
They breed really fast, and they can cover a large area, and they all follow a hive mind almost.
Yeah, and they also mentioned they're sterile, but
the first wave is sterile, but I think like one viable, one fertile spider was made on that first wave.
Oh, and that becomes the
very first spider, the photographer, he mated with the viable one to make the actual dangerous spiders.
Yeah. So. The bit that there was one bit where I did wince that was Gremlins-like in this was there was a couple eating popcorn watching some quiz show, and there's a spider in the popcorn, and we see them taking handfuls of popcorn and stuffing them in their face. So you think, okay. But you don't see anything until... the exterminator. Everyone, for some reason, goes to visit them, and they are dead. They're dead with their popcorn, right? So they're just sitting wrapped up in front of the telly, dead. So there's all this. Now, basically, it's the climax then, right? It's the climax.
Yeah, we get Julian Sands' character seems to have tracked the spiders to Jeff Daniels' house on his own. The rest figure out just by working out the sort of spread of the spiders. They go they got here, 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 and here, and right in the middle. They're like, "What's that?" And Jeff Daniels goes, "That's my house." And they rush back to his house and sort of slowly creep in and like, "Hey, honey, hey, kids, we gotta get out of here." And then spiders start like erupting out of everywhere. Pretty much.
Yeah, and he's. I mean, one of the premises of the film is he has arachnophobia, but to be honest, he acts like
really
anyone
comes up
would.
Except the first scene, really.
Where he talks about how it started when a spider when he was a little kid.
Yeah, when he goes into the basement for the first time, I was talking about, and he gets scared, but.
Yeah, it's not a thing, really. I mean, anyone would act exactly the same as he does in this.
Delbert kind of turns into the Terminator here.
Yeah,
he puts together some goo and like sprays it, and it melts the spider. Yeah. So he's like, okay, I know, and leaves for a bit. Well, he disappears from the film for a bit. He's just getting like stuff ready in his van. So there's a bit of a chase around the house. As people are like, oh, the doorway's blocked by spiders. Let's go upstairs, climb out the window. The window's now got spiders all over it. Yeah. Can't climb out there. Yeah. Jeff Daniels falls like 3 stories. It's quite funny.
Yeah.
Through the floor.
Yeah, oh wow. And ends up in the nest, basically.
Yeah, and then Delbert like kicks the door open, wielding these little squirt guns, melting down spiders.
That's right. Yeah, they're all like melting. And then... The general, doesn't a general jump on Jeff Daniels?
Jeff Daniels picks up a shovel and he has a quick
gets
scrap
lucky.
with the queen. Yeah, he gets very lucky because he's fighting the queen, which, to be honest, they just used like a regular sort of tarantula for the close-ups. So it just looks like he's holding a shovel fighting a regular-sized spider. But he kills that by launching it into his fuses. So
not deliberately, I don't think.
Yeah, he accidentally whips it into his fuse box.
Yeah.
But then he has a bit of a chase with the general, the really threatening original spider. There's a bit of back and forth. Including a bit where he's like singing the Incy Wincy Spider as he's slowly chasing it around with a handmade blowtorch.
Yeah, so mad. It's proper mad. So it was, the climax was all right. It was, spiders getting burnt and melted everywhere, right?
I liked his weird, wine fascination. Like, he had a lot of very valuable wine. So he kept, as they're fighting in his wine cellar, he's, picking up stuff to throw and going, nah, too valuable, and picking up another one and chucking it. So,
It's a bit like Shaun of the Dead, though. What made
Yeah.
me laugh is when the wife mentioned to Delbert his wine collection. He goes, "Oh yeah, I collect beer cans. I've got a Budweiser, misprinted Budweiser, only a 10 in existence. I've got one," and stuff like that. He just turned it around. It made me laugh. So essentially, they kind of beat these.
They win.
Deadly.
They like kill the spiders. They kill the weird egg sac that looks more like a just an angry testicle.
Yes.
But yeah, the conclusion is like, let's get the fuck back out of here and go. They go back to San Francisco. And the close is them just moving back in. So. Yeah,
and then they're just sort of saying, "Oh, isn't it nice we could go somewhere sane where weird things don't happen?" And immediately the house starts shaking.
Yeah,
and because there's a light tremor, and they go off to check something, and then there's another tremor, and his bottle of expensive wine falls over and starts pouring on the carpet, and the film ends. That's it.
Yeah,
yeah, it was okay.
I love the like last half of it, definitely.
You liked it more than me. I found it a little dull, I have to say. I felt it needed more comedy or more horror or something, but it definitely. Also, there were some scenes in it that felt like they come straight out of this old 70s film called Kingdom of the Spiders, which, if I remember rightly, stars William Shatner.
Okay.
Yeah. Arachnophobia, it was all right. I thought I'd seen it, but when I started watching it, it's like, no, I haven't seen this. I'd seen like 10 minutes where John Goodman is squirting. I remember John Goodman squirting spiders. That's the only thing I remember. I think I came in from the pub, turned the telly on, and that was on. I think it was something like that. Yeah. So yeah, I like the spiders. They found a good species to use for this because it kind of they looked.
Yeah, they're apparently
they
called
weren't
Avondale
massive
spiders.
Okay,
from New Zealand, which
okay.
they found like the one animal from like the Australian continent that's like not poisonous.
Yeah,
so.
from that part of the world. It makes a change, doesn't it? It came out the weekend it came out. It was third in the box office, but it was behind Ghost and Die Hard 2. So those aren't bad films to be behind, and it still it did well financially.
But there was no way it was beating either of those.
No,
so.
no. They were massive. Both of those were massive.
Yeah.
So it didn't do too bad. So, yeah, I felt the direction lacked something. If someone like John Landis had made Gremlins, I think it would have been way punchier. Also, even Spielberg or, any one of the other guys that worked with Spielberg. I'm trying to think of some of their names. Who made Beetlejuice? Not Beetlejuice.
You say Tim Burton? What?
No, I'm trying to think. Who made the guy who made Men in Black? Is an example of what the sort of director.
I'm trying to.
Levinson, Barry Levinson.
I think so. I can't remember.
Yeah, but I didn't think this is a great film. I found it a little dull for me.
Sonnenfeld.
Sonnenfeld. That's it. Sonnenfeld. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was a B movie through and through. A sort of 90s, wasn't it? 1990s was when it was like a late 80s B movie, and kind of fun. Fun. Where would you put it in your listings of spider films?
I'd probably spider film.
Wow,
the only others on this list are like Spider-Man. This is unfair.
No. There's Eight-Legged Freaks, Tarantula.
We haven't covered these on the podcast, though.
That's true. All right, okay, we won't talk about that.
It's like the only things with spiders on them that I could think of that we've covered on this podcast is Spider-Man films and a couple of Godzilla films.
And Lord of the Rings at a push. Right?
True, yeah.
Okay. All right. How would you rate this then?
I'd probably put this either a 6 or 7, either in the positive or the negative.
Yeah,
like I say, it had its good moments. It had its like goofy moments. Like I say, I really love the like finale where it was Jeff Daniels chasing a regular sized spider around his basement and mostly hurting himself.
Yeah, Jeff Daniels is solid. It has to be said. Yeah. I thought it was okay at best. I'd give it a 2.5 out of 5. Ooh. Really, and I feel that's a little low. It's probably really almost a 3 for me, but it just felt a little long. Needed a few more laughs or scares or something. A few more moments like the guys eating popcorn. A couple of more moments like that would have bumped it up a little for me. But yeah, but it was obviously a family film. Having said that, it was meant to be a family film, so like E.T. or something. It was that kind of level. All right then. Okay, let's. So Daisy, next time will be my choice, won't it? And
and you've got quite a few things to choose here.
I have. There's John Goodman, Jeff Daniels, Frank Marshall again as the director.
I think I suggested this last time, but if you want to loop back to one of our old segments, Brian McNamara, who played, I think it was the like other assist, the like extra guy that showed up.
Yeah,
he's in he's in Short Circuit.
Wow. Short Circuit. Yeah, I haven't seen Short Circuit in years either. This is kind of a similar vibe as well to this film, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. All right, let's wind out there. So, bye from me.
Bye.